In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 things I'll do differently if I have a dark night of the soul again. Hi, I'm Yong Kang. I help people calm their mind and awaken their spirit. Number 1, feel whatever emotion that you're feeling right now and don't run away and don't suppress them. When you go through a dark night of the soul, you may experience a lot of different emotion. What I experience is, if you don't feel this emotion and don't acknowledge them, they will get built up in the background. A good analogy would be a water kettle. When you boil water in a kettle, just before it turns into steam, there's this built up energy. This is how it is when we suppress our emotion. Sometimes we think that by ignoring them, they will be gone. But no, they are actually built up in the background waiting to explode. Like in my case, I have a panic attack. What led me to my first dark night of the soul is actually when I am not willing to face my shame. I wrote a book about pursuing my passion, but later I did find out that that is not something I want to do. And I went back to my ex-company, and there's a lot of shame there. But instead of dealing with it, when the next opportunity comes, when somebody offered me another job, I just jumped straight into it. And that eventually led me to a dark night of the soul. And during the dark night of the soul, I wasn't willing to feel my anger. That kept me in a state of despair and powerlessness for a long time. If I were to allow myself to feel the anger, I will probably move out of the dark night of the soul much faster. So now whenever I feel some emotion, I'll take myself off my work. It doesn't have to be very long. It can just be like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But what I want to do is to create a space and some time for myself to acknowledge the emotion and to feel the emotion before I get back to my work. I don't want to use work or entertainment to distract myself from feeling what I'm really feeling in the moment. When these feelings are not felt, they don't go away. They just hide in the background, waiting for the opportunity to come out again, waiting for the opportunity to be acknowledged. And one crucial thing to note here, you have to feel your emotion and not think about your emotion. You don't want to think about events that causes you to feel certain emotion. For example, like when you are going through a breakup, you don't want to keep reminiscing what happened before or the things that you do that you regret. This will create more emotions. What you want to do is to feel the emotion in your body and allow the emotion to move out of your body. Your emotion will naturally move out of the body when you have given it the time and the space to acknowledge it and to embrace it and to feel it. But it doesn't mean that once you feel your emotion, you'll be gone forever. It may take you a few repetitions before you fully process your emotion. Number 2, if I were to experience the dark night of soul again, I will let go of this belief that I know everything. So here is what I mean by this. When you are in a state of despair, all you're going to think is things is not going to work out for me, something bad is going to happen, and I can't deal with it. These thoughts, this belief that you have is very certain. Your ego wants certainty. Your ego wants to figure things out. So your ego is always attributing reasons and causes for something. For example, during a breakup, your ego may think that you are at fault, and this doesn't make you feel good. Or your ego may think that your partner or your ex is at fault, and you'll start to blame and resent them, and that doesn't make you feel good also. Your ego is always assigning blame to someone because it wants certainty and it wants a conclusion. But having this belief and these thoughts keeps triggering our emotion again and again, and that will go down a downward spiral. So instead of being so fixated at a certain belief or a certain thought, you want to open up your mind. You want to use these words, I don't know. I don't know when my dark night of the soul will last. I don't know when it will end. If you have a breakup, you don't need to know who is at fault. If you see someone as your only source of happiness, you don't know that for sure. You don't know that you can be happy or not with or without them. Keeping an open mind and not trying to define everything so concretely will actually ease this period of the dark night of the soul. It allows you to see more possibility. And when you are open to more possibility, you'll be more open to receive new ideas and new guidance. Number 3, if I have a dark night of the soul again, I will go straight to the resistance and the attachment that I have and try to open out as much as possible. I'll try to accept the unacceptable. If we are suffering, the ego is always trying to cling on to one thing and makes us miserable. It could be our work, our career, our relationship, our finances. Whatever that I cling on to, I want to let them go. For example, if you are experiencing a twin flame separation like I am right now, you don't want to try to control the action and behavior of a twin flame. You want to allow and give them the freedom to be and choose their own action. If you are experiencing a health issue and that makes you feel very despair, you want to accept your condition, current condition, as much as possible. We want to stop trying to solve the problem. When we are in a state of despair or the dark night of the soul, we don't have the positive momentum to solve the problem. We're more connected to the problem and we're not connected to the solution. So imagine today this piece of blank paper is the problem. When we are in the dark night of the soul, all we can see is the problem. We are taking the problem so close to our face that we cannot see anything else but the problem. The solution is out there, outside this white piece of paper. But because we focus on the problem so much, we cannot see other things other than a piece of paper. This attachment is also not limited to things and people. It also could be an attachment to the past. So maybe in the past you have a wonderful career, you have a wonderful family, or wonderful health, but right now you don't. What's causing you to feel depressed is when you keep looking back to the past and compare to your current reality. You feel that you can no longer go back to the past, and that's why there's such intense emotion. But if you accept your current reality and let go of your past experience and not wanting to go back to your past experience, you will find that in this moment, you actually feel fine. So when we are in the dark night of the soul, all we can think is a problem, like how we stuck the piece of paper onto our face. It is very important for you to do something else. You know, sometimes how people get great ideas and inspiration is when they put down what their problems are, put down their focus on their problem, and just do something else. And when they are not thinking about their problems, new ideas and new inspiration will come about much easier. There are many ways to open up yourself when you are feeling very attached to something. You can imagine yourself opening up like palms together, and you can imagine yourself opening up. You can also imagine a tight fist, and then you open your tight fist up. This motion will facilitate your heart to open up. It will help you to let go of resistance and attachment. Number 4, I will still be in solitude, but I will make sure that I have done the first 3 steps. Because if I don't do the first 3 steps, it's very easy for us to go into the rumination mode. If you have not acknowledged and embraced your emotion, and if you have not let go of your belief and your attachment, what you'll find is that when you are alone, you start to think very negatively. That may cause you to feel very depressed and anxious. The main purpose of solitude is to not get constantly triggered. So if you just have a breakup, you don't want to keep looking at your ex social media. If you feel lost without career and you don't feel happy or motivated to do anything, you don't want to go to social media and see all the happy faces. That doesn't make you feel good. And if you are processing your grief because you lost your loved one, sometimes it's easier to be alone. When you are with other people and they know that you have lost someone you're close to, they may offer you sympathy like, how are you doing? Are you okay? But that actually makes you feel more sad. The second reason is being alone helps you hear your intuition better. You're not bombarded by all this overwhelming, stimulating external information. You are more connected to your center, your core, and your spirit. And that allows you to know what you truly desire in the moment. It will allow you to hear your guidance from your spirit. So if I were to have a dark night of the soul again, I will not be on social media that much. I'll turn off all the notification. I will go to the park and just spend some time alone. I'll find a quiet corner where I can be with myself for a few hours. And if I have emotions that I have not fully processed, I'll process them. And also will get connected to my spirit. I'll spend this time to get to know myself better. Number 5. This time round, I will ask myself not to panic and to trust the process. The first time round, I was in a panic attack because I didn't know what I want to do for my career. I see that the amount in my bank account is decreasing, and that causes some kind of anxiety attack. If I were to experience the dark night of the soul again, I will actually soothe this part of me, this ego part of me that is full of anxiety and fear. Tell it to trust the universe. Even though I may not know the full plan, the whole plan, but I know that eventually it will work out. I wouldn't try so hard anymore to find a job. Instead, I'll be patient and allow my intuition to guide me step by step. I will not plan so far ahead and think of the perfect or the ideal career that I need to be in. I'll just focus on the present moment. All I need to know is what I need to do now. Do I take a left turn or do I take a right turn? I don't need to know the full picture. I just need to know what is the next step. Dealing with your dark night of the soul requires a lot of self-care and patience. If you are wondering why your dark night of the soul isn't ending, watch this next video here.